Turquoise waters, legendary shores, these villages just tumbling down cliffs. And this timeless elegance, right?
Yeah.
Stretching all the way from Toulon to the Italian border. That's the French Riviera, the Côte d'Azur.
It really is an iconic image. Luxury resorts, yes, but also that local charm.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, our mission is, well, to get past those postcard views and really dig into what makes this coastline tick.
To find the compelling stuff.
Right. You want the insights, not just a data dump.
Yeah.
So we've sifted through our sources to give you a balanced, hopefully memorable look at this amazing region.
Okay, let's dive in.
So first things first, Côte d'Azur, French Riviera, same thing.
Yeah, completely interchangeable. It's that famous strip of Mediterranean coast.
Right.
Now, you won't find like an official border sign anywhere, but generally people agree it runs from Toulon out in the west over to Menton near Italy.
Okay.
What's really interesting, I think, is how early it became a resort area, but not for glamour initially.
Oh, how so?
Well, back in the late 18th century, it started as a winter health retreat, mostly for the British upper class.
A health retreat, that sounds really different from the casinos and super yachts of today.
It is. They were escaping the damp, cold British winters.
So what flipped the switch? What turned it into this playground for the European elite?
The big catalyst was the railway arriving, mid-19th century.
Ah, accessibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Suddenly this relatively remote coast was easy to get to from all over Europe. And this happened just as the aristocracy, British, Russian, others, had more money and leisure time.
So easy travel plus wealthy people looking for somewhere nice.
Pretty much. That combination really laid the foundation for its reputation as this, well, luxurious, exclusive haven.
And that reputation has definitely lasted. You picture the Riviera, you think stunning views, those beaches, that whole aura of wealth.
Instantly, yeah.
But it can't just be sun and status symbols, surely. There's got to be more to it.
Oh, absolutely. Way more. Beneath that glossy surface, you've got these incredibly charming towns, a really deep-rooted art scene, culture that's drawn creative types for ages.
And the landscape itself is pretty unique.
Right, where the Alps just plunge into the Mediterranean, that gives it that amazing climate, mild to warm pretty much year-round.
Connects to the economy, too, I imagine.
Massively. Tourism is huge here. We're talking an estimated $5 billion a year spent by visitors.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge slice of France's total tourism income. Shows you how important the Riviera is economically.
Popular.
Second most popular holiday spot in France. And some people think, eventually it might even overtake Paris.
Overtake Paris. That's a bold claim.
It is, but it shows you the trajectory.
Okay, let's get specific. Let's travel along the coast like our sources do, maybe east to west, starting right near Italy with Menton.
Menton, yeah. It's got this really interesting frontier history. For ages, it was the border between Provence and Genoa.
So, Italian influence.
Definitely. It was actually Italian, more or less, until 1860. There was a vote, a plebiscite, and it officially became French.
Huh.
But even before that, it was already known as a fashionable spot. Grand mansions, beautiful gardens.
And citrus. Right. I read something about lemons.
Yes. Its microclimate is incredibly mild, perfect for growing citrus. That's still a big part of its identity today. The Lemon Festival is huge.
Lemons in Italian history. Cool mix. Okay, moving west. Monaco. Everyone knows Monaco. Tiny place, huge reputation.
Tiny is right. Second smallest sovereign state in the world, but also the most densely populated.
Wow, packed in.
Very. But it's stable, and its fiscal system, low taxes, makes it super attractive for investors, businesses.
And tourists, obviously.
Tourism's the main industry, absolutely. It's a top-tier luxury resort. Used to be mainly winter, but now with the beaches, yachting, it's year-round.
Plus the big attractions.
Oh, yeah. The Oceanographic Museum is world famous. The Opera House, and of course the Grand Prix in May.
Racing through the city streets.
Exactly. High-speed racing on roads people use every day.
Yeah.
It sums up Monaco in a way unique, intense.
Intense is a good word. Okay, let's shift gears completely. From Monaco's intensity to Payan. Sources call it one of the most beautiful villages.
Oh, Payan is special. It really is. It's perched way up on this sheer cliff, like an eagle's nest. Amazing views.
Sounds dramatic.
It feels like stepping back centuries. You're walking through these narrow, winding little streets, vaulted passageways, steep stone steps.
Wow.
And the houses, they look like they've just grown out of the rock, all clustered together. It's so quiet, so preserved. A real contrast to the coast.
I can picture it. That sense of quiet history sounds amazing. Okay, continuing along, another clifftop village, Izes. What's its story?
Isa is also perched high up, between Monaco and Nice. Again, incredible views, famous for its medieval architecture, that dramatic setting.
Any specific claims to fame?
Well, there's the Nietzsche Path, named after the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Yeah, apparently he got inspiration for a part of Thus Spoke Zarathustra, walking there. It leads down to the sea.
Oh.
And the fortress at the top. Film buffs might recognize it. It was in Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief.
Hitchcock and Nietzsche overlooking the Med. Quite the spot. Okay, let's come down to sea level. Beaulieu-sur-Mer, near Nice. What's the vibe there?
Beaulieu is more serene seaside, lots of lush greenery, palm trees. It's known for having this really superb light warmth most of the year.
Sounds lovely. Beaches.
Definitely. Nice sandy beaches for swimming, relaxing. And you can do water sports too, like water skiing, windsurfing, even tuna fishing trips.
Tuna fishing, alongside the fancy villas.
Yeah. It's a Riviera mix again. It used to be a big favorite for the international elite, and you still see those gorgeous properties and gardens.
Classic Riviera. And just south of Beaulieu is Saint-Jean-Cap-Ferrat. That name just sounds expensive.
It's pretty exclusive. It's a peninsula jutting out south of Beaulieu. Just stunning villas, often tucked away behind greenery, amazing gardens, really beautiful spot.
Like Beaulieu, popular with the old aristocracy.
Very much so. The architecture really reflects that era. One place you can visit is the Villa Ephrussi de Rothschild.
Ah, the Rothschild Villa.
It's built by Baroness Beatrice de Rothschild. It's open to the public now. Gives you a real glimpse into that, incredibly opulent lifestyle from the early 20th century.
A peek behind the velvet ropes? Cool. Okay, moving west again. Villefranche-sur-Mer.
Villefranche is lovely. A really picturesque old town, dates back to the early 14th century.
What are the highlights?
Well, there's the Saint-Pierre Chapel. It's ancient, but the artist Jean Cocteau decorated it. It's quite striking.
Yeah, Cocteau, interesting.
Yeah, modern art in this old setting. There's also a big citadel overlooking the town, built in 1560. And the bay itself is really deep and sheltered.
Good for ships.
Exactly. You often see naval vessels, cruise ships anchoring there. Tourism's the main thing now, naturally. It has a busy yacht harbor, but also still a traditional fish dealer. That blend again.
Cocteau, citadels, cruise ships. Quite the mix. Okay, now for the big one. Nice, the largest city on the Riviera.
Definitely the main urban hub. It's the second biggest French city on the Mediterranean coast, actually.
And it's got UNESCO status now.
It does, since 2021.
Huh.
Awarded for its history as a winter resort town, and that whole mix of cultures that shaped it. The way the city developed is quite unique.
Big tourist numbers, I assume.
Huge. Around 4 million a year. It has massive hotel capacity.
How is the city laid out?
The Pignon River sort of divides it. You've got the newer parts to the west, and then the old town, the Vieilleville, plus the harbor and main commercial bits to the east.
Tell me about the Vieilleville.
It's classic old town.
Yeah.
Narrow, winding streets right at the foot of Castle Hill. The castle's long gone. Really charming. The harbor's mostly ferries to Corsica and pleasure boats these days.
And its economy relies heavily on tourism.
For centuries, really. But it's also got great cultural spots, shops, amazing architecture. And it's big for business tourism, too. The Acropolis Congress Center hosts lots of events.
Any big annual events?
Oh, yeah. The Carnival of Nice is famous, really vibrant. And there's a big international tennis tournament.
4 million tourists. It really is central. Okay, pushing westwards, Cagnes-sur-Mer. What's its claim to fame?
Cagnes-sur-Mer is pretty. It stretches along this sheltered cove, beaches, hills behind it. It's probably most famous as the last home of Renoir.
The Impressionist painter.
That's the one. Pierre-Auguste Renoir. His estate Les Colettes is preserved as a museum. You can see his paintings, get a sense of his life there.
Wow, Renoir's final years. That's quite something. What about the beaches?
The main beach is Pebbles, mostly public access, which is good. And they also have a well-known horse racing track, the Hippodrome de la Côte d'Azur.
Renoir and horse racing. Okay. Now, heading slightly inland from Nice, Saint-Paul-de-Vence sounds enchanting.
It really is, often called one of the loveliest perched villages. It became a magnet for artists back in the 1920s.
Impressionists again.
Yeah, they rediscovered it, loved the light, the setting. Now it's super famous, an easy day trip from Nice.
What's it like?
Just imagine. Quaint stone buildings, narrow cobblestone paths, flowers everywhere. But what's cool is it's not just a museum piece. People actually live there. There are shops, galleries.
So it feels alive.
Definitely. Like stepping into a painting, but a living one.
Sounds magical. Okay, back to the coast. Antibes, lively but laid back, sources say.
That sums it up well. Antibes has this great energy. It's an old walled town, but it's got a relaxed, beachy feel alongside this huge port full of super yachts.
Super yachts again.
Can't escape them on the Riviera. But the old town is gorgeous. Narrow streets, great market, the Marché Provençal little cafes.
And Picasso lived there.
He did, had a studio there for a while. The Musée Picasso is housed in the Chateau Grimaldi, right on the ramparts. Its tower really dominates the skyline.
Picasso's view must have been inspiring. Anything else to check out?
Definitely do the Cap d'Antibes coastal walk. Stunning views.
Picasso, yachts, coastal walks. Got it. Now, just west of Antibes is Juan Lapin's. Different vibe.
Oh yeah, completely different. Juan-les-Pins is a much more modern resort town. Big hotels, villas, luxury places facing the sea, sandy beaches, very popular with the international jet set, lots of nightclubs.
So more about the nightlife and beaches.
And jazz. Since after World War II, it became a major jazz hub. Hosted all the legends, they still have the Jazz of One festival every July. It's a big deal.
From Picasso to Miles Davis?
Yeah.
The cultural range is impressive. Okay, next stop. Cannes. Probably the most famous name.
Almost certainly. Synonymous with glamour, the film festival, right?
Festival de Cannes, absolutely. World famous.
And that whole image, rich and famous, luxury hotels, amazing restaurants, big conferences, it's all true.
What's the focal point? La Croisette.
Definitely. That palm-lined boulevard along the seafront, beaches on one side, fancy boutiques, restaurants, grand hotels on the other. It's the heart of Cannes.
Is there an old town?
Yes, Le Souquet. It overlooks La Croisette. Great views. Tourism drives everything in Cannes, of course.
Anything else notable?
Interestingly, it's a big center for the international flower market. Especially mimosa. It grows really well there.
Mimosa flowers. Didn't expect that.
Me neither. First time I heard it. Also, off the coast are the Lorraine Islands. Ile Sainte-Marguerite is beautiful. Forests, and it has the old Fort Royal.
The Man in the Iron Mask prison.
That's the one. Adds a bit of historical mystery to the glamour.
Film stars and mystery prisoners. Cannes has it all. Okay, let's nip inland slightly, near Cannes, to Grasse.
Perfume capital, right?
Exactly. Grasse is nestled inland, lovely green-setting mountains, forests. Historically, it was actually about leather tanning.
Leather, not perfume.
Not initially. But then came the trend for perfumed gloves in the 17th century. That kickstarted the perfume industry. By the 19th century, Grasse was the world capital of perfume.
Wow. Is it still?
It's still a major center. Maybe 30 factories still operate. Some offer free tours, which are fascinating. See how they make the fragrances. And it's easy to get to by train.
Free perfume tours. Sounds like a good side trip. Okay, back to the coast, further west.
Yeah.
Saint Raphael. Saint Raphael is a lively seaside resort. Good beaches, well-kept, nice little harbor. And behind it, you've got the Massif des Maures Hills, all forested. Nice contrast.
Busy in summer.
Very. Population swells quite a bit. It boasts about 30 beaches.
30.
Yeah, plenty of choice. Lots of water sports. And there's a coastal path that goes towards the Estral Massif that's volcanic rock. Really dramatic red cliffs.
Sounds great for walkers. Nearby is Fréjus. That one has Roman roots.
Deep Roman roots. Julius Caesar founded it in 49 BC as a major military port. It was a proper Roman city.
Any Roman stuff left?
Oh, yes, quite a bit. There were impressive Roman monuments, including a big amphitheater and a theater. It's still connected to the military, too. The French Navy has a base there.
And there was a dam disaster.
Yes, sadly. The Malpasset Dam collapsed back in 1959, a tragic event in its more recent history.
Roman history and modern tragedy. Quite a past. Okay, let's cross the Gulf of Saint-Tropez to Saint-Maxime.
Saint-Maxime sits on the northern shore of the Gulf, founded way back around 1000 AD by monks.
Monks. Interesting start. What's it like now?
It shifted from fishing and trading local stuff, timber, cork, olive oil, wine, to tourism being the main thing. It has amazing views across the Gulf to Saint-Tropez and the Moors Mountains behind it.
Who does it appeal to?
Generally seen as more family-oriented than Saint-Tropez, they've also invested in a new cultural center recently.
Family-friendly, good views, nice alternative. And now, the legend itself. Saint-Tropez.
Ah, Saint-Tropez. Probably one of the best-known towns on the whole coast.
How did it get so famous? It started small, right?
Yeah, just a military stronghold, then a quiet fishing village. It was actually one of the first towns liberated in southern France during WWII.
Really?
Yes. But its fame really exploded after the war. Artists from the French New Wave film scene started hanging out there.
Like Brigitte Bardot.
Exactly, she was key. Then came the yeah-yeah pop music crowd, and soon after, the international jet set. And the rest is history.
What's it like in summer?
The harbor is just jammed with incredible yachts.
Mm-hmm.
The village itself buzzes restaurants, designer shops, cafes, clubs. It's very lively.
And the beaches.
Pamplon Beach, just outside town, is the famous one. Miles of sand, lots of beach clubs. And the nearby hillside village of Ramatuelle is lovely too.
Bordeaux, beaches, billionaires, yachts. Iconic. Okay, continuing west. La Lavandou.
La Lavandou sits at the foot of the Massif des Morts, between Toulon and Saint-Tropez. Great climate, mild, dry, loads of sunshine.
What's its main draw?
It grew from a small fishing port into quite a big tourist spot. It has a large marina now, but still an active fishing port too. Its big thing is beaches. It claims 12 fine, sandy beaches.
12. Another beach paradise.
Plenty to choose from, yeah. They're well looked after.
Getting towards the western end now, Hires. Our sources say it's the oldest resort on the Riviera.
Oldest and most southerly, yes. It became popular back in the 18th century, mainly as a health and winter spot. It's sheltered from the mistral wind, which was a big plus.
How's it laid out?
It's below a hill, and the old feudal town is built up on the slopes. Very charming. The coastline is long, and importantly, not overly built up. Lots of natural stretches, sandy beaches, rocky coves.
Sounds more natural.
Definitely a big focus on nature here. The nearby islands are protected part of the Port Cross National Park. People come for the beaches, water sports, landscapes.
Yeah.
Oh, and they grow a lot of palm trees there too. Adds to the Riviera feel.
Protected islands, like Porquerolles.
Exactly. Porquerolles is the biggest of the Hires Islands and the most westerly.
What's it like?
About 7 kilometers long, 3 wide. Varied coastline cliffs on the south. Lovely beaches like Notre Dame and La Courtade on the north. The village itself was established in the 19th century.
I read it was bought by someone.
Yeah, fascinating story. A Belgian engineer, François-Joseph Fournier, bought the whole island as a wedding gift for his wife. Later, the state acquired most of it to preserve it, making it part of the national park.
Wow, a wedding gift island. Anything else?
They've had a summer jazz festival there since 2010. Jazz on a preserved Mediterranean island sounds pretty good.
Sounds amazing. Okay, nearly at the end of our westwards journey. Toulon, a major city.
It is. Big naval port, strategically located, sheltered by these limestone cliffs. That's allowed for lots of harbors.
Climate.
Known for being one of the warmest, sunniest cities in France. Proper subtropical feel. The Mistral wind can blow, though. That's the downside sometimes.
Is it just an industrial port city?
It's the largest city in the Var region, yes, and important for naval construction, fishing, other industries. But its coastline has kept a lot of its charm. It doesn't feel entirely industrial when you're by the water.
Good to know. A mix of urban and coastal. And finally, our last stop, way out west, nestled in the Calanque, Cassis.
Cassis, a perfect place to end. It's this gorgeous little seaside resort right at the foot of a huge cliff, Cap Canaille, one of the highest sea cliffs in Europe. It's within the Calanque National Park.
The Calanque are those fjord-like inlets, right?
It's exactly. Stunning white limestone cliffs plunging into turquoise water. Cassis still feels like a quaint fishing village, even though it's popular. You can take boat tours out to see the Calanques, highly recommended.
What's the town like?
Couple beaches, pastel-colored houses around the harbor, nice little shops, great views everywhere. It's just lovely.
And good for hiking.
Oh yeah. For climbers and hikers, the Calanques are a paradise. Miles of trails. Definitely a must-see if you like the outdoors.
Dramatic cliffs, turquoise water, hikes. Sounds like a beautiful bookend to the Riviera. So after visiting all these incredible places vicariously, if you, our listener, wanted to go, when's the best time?
Well, generally the shoulder seasons are probably best. Late spring, May, June, or early autumn, September, October.
Why then?
You get lovely warm weather, perfect for exploring, but fewer crowds than peak summer. July and August are peak season busiest and most expensive.
Makes sense. Avoid the peak rush if you can, and getting around once you're there.
The train line along the coast is really good. The local TER trains are efficient and offer some amazing views.
What about exploring inland? Those hilltop villages?
For that, renting a car is probably your best bet. Gives you the flexibility.
But maybe not needed in the big cities.
Right. In places like Nice or Cannes, you probably don't need a car. They're very walkable, good public transport. Plus, driving and parking in summer, especially around Monaco or Cannes, can be challenging.
Good tip. Traffic jams aren't fun on holiday. Any other practical things to keep in mind?
Yeah, a few things. While big stores and tourist spots might open Sundays, smaller shops and local markets often close.
Okay.
Also, restaurants often take Monday off. And museums tend to close on either Monday or Tuesday, so check ahead.
Good planning advice. What about beaches?
Those private beaches with the sun loungers, most of them pack up around October, November. Some might stay open year-round, but the majority close for winter. Public beaches are always accessible, of course.
Right. Okay, let's talk food. What should people make sure to try?
Oh, the food's fantastic. It's that great mix of French and Mediterranean. Definitely seek out bouillabaisse, that famous fish stew. You'll find great versions all along the coast.
Sounds good. Anything else?
Patrice-Gabrielle. It's like think of a savory tart or flatbread, topped with caramelized onions, olives, anchovies. Really typical, really delicious.
Okay, noted. And to drink.
Rosé. You're in Provence, basically. A chilled glass of local rosé wine is pretty much mandatory, especially sitting outside on a sunny afternoon.
Sold. Rosé overlooking the Med. Perfect. And beyond food, any final cultural highlights?
Well, we mentioned the jazz festivals like Jazz of Juan. Definitely check out the art museums. The Chagall and Matisse museums in Nice are superb. And just wander through the local markets. You get such a great feel for the place, the produce, the atmosphere.
Fantastic. So the French Riviera, it's this incredible blend, isn't it? Glamour, yes, but also stunning nature, deep culture, layers of history.
Absolutely. From the craziness of the Cannes Film Festival to the quiet beauty of a village like Payan, or the fragrant history of grass. It covers so much ground.
It really makes you think. Given all that variety, what part of it resonates most with you? Is it the jet-set lifestyle, the artistic heritage, the ancient villages, the natural beauty? And what would digging deeper into that specific part tell us about why this coastline has captivated people for so long?
That's a great question to ponder. There's just so much there.
Definitely something for you, the listener, to consider, and maybe dive deeper into whatever town or aspect really caught your interest today.
For sure. There's always more to discover along the Côte d'Azur. It's a place that keeps revealing itself.